So if you guys could just please introduce yourselves and the role you play in the band.
Go ahead, our fearless leader.
All right. I'm Parker. I do co-lead vocals and play guitar as well as some scream vocals.
I'm Riley. I do the same thing that Parker does,
But better.
just on the other side of the stage.
I'm Leo. I play bass and I do supporting vocals.
All right. So we came across you guys on Instagram. Actually, I commented, I think, on the reel or something that you had about, Kellin Quinn. And then Parker messaged me, and then we got to talking about having you guys on the podcast. But you guys are a fairly new band that started in 2022. So how did you guys all meet, and what is your origin story?
Well, the villain origin story we have here is Parker's always wanted to do music, and everyone else in this band was doing their own thing at some time before I even knew him. And I ended up having a song get on radio, the first one I made, and then I'm like, oh, cool. And then FGCU, our college, was having a music festival, and a different lineup of the sorts kind of just played three songs with me. And we're like, this is kind of fun. And slowly the lineup changed to getting the members that we have now. And then we're trying to figure out a band name because it used to be called Parker Sjogren Music. And Riley came up with the term "done for," and then we kind of just started figuring it out since then and doing the thing a little bit
Yeah,
better each month.
I was in like a bar band at the time, just playing cover gigs, making money. And then I was actually going to be playing at the same music festival that Parker was doing. And he needed a drummer, and I play drums as well. So I actually played drums for him at that, and then I stayed on the stage, and then had my band come up and play during that as well. So we were both doing our own thing, and then we kind of just clicked, I think, from that point, and we started doing shows around the area, just kind of under Parker's name. And then I switched to guitar because I was like, look, I'm more of a guitar player. This is what I want to do. Then we kind of just um, found some people. We got Christian, we got Carter, who's no longer our bass player. But then that
Then
was
Andy,
then Andy. Yeah, it was
then the
tough.
computer.
It was really hard for us to find a bass player for a long time that was like really solid. Carter was great, but he just had other things to focus on. So we stuck with that for a long time. Then we found Leo, and Leo was actually kind of a fill-in bass player for a
I
while.
was.
But then we were just like, dude, just join the band, man. I remember literally talking to his dad outside of a venue. I'm like, you have to please convince Leo to join the band. He was so reluctant at the time, and I think he's glad he joined now. But we were kind of just begging him. And then Zach joined. But then we had like this is what I was saying before we started. We
We're a
had three.
five piece now, by the way, just to
We're a
throw that.
five piece. Yeah, so it was two guitars, Parker on vocals, drums, and Leo. And now we have three guitars, drums, Leo. But whenever Zach joined, that really opened up a lot of possibilities because now he's going to be on lead guitar full time. Because we had to kind of just bounce between lead, me and you at the beginning. And I'm not really a strong lead guitar player, so it was tough for me. And Zach is that. But then it started to open up. Look, now I can sing because I happen to have a passion for singing as well. It's my favorite thing to do. And so now I'm kind of like being trusted more to sing on
Riley's
stage.
gonna get bored and go to bass or back to drums next.
No, no, no,
He's
no.
gonna have the full
This
circle.
is what I've always wanted to do, but it's funny how it started out with me on drums. So that's
Yeah.
where we're
Do you think that having three guitars is a better dynamic than just two guitars?
So we started that way, and it's actually really hard to do well. And by that, I mean not having too much in the mix. So if you're playing live, you can't have everybody playing the same part or it'll get muddy. And that's what it kind of took time to figure out to do what and do what. And as we got more skilled as singers and guitarists and figuring out just roles in the band, kind of scaling that back to two guitars now. But everyone has the ability to do something in this band, and that's the thing about Done For, which is the name of the band. First time said that today. Um, we have four vocalists, four people that can sing. We have three people that can scream. We've got three people that can play guitar. So we literally will switch it up on stage no matter, and you'll never know where it comes from next. And I guess it's a plus for us, but I mean, usually it's a kind of difficult thing. The only band I think that's been able to pull that off that I've seen is one called Norma Jean, and they were pretty solid at it.
I saw them
Uh,
once back in the day.
They put down.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you
So,
that they put
yeah,
down.
we just opened for them last month. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
awesome.
they were
Yeah, that
fun.
was a
Nice.
really fun show.
Yeah, but
Wait,
it's three guitar players, but there's not most of the time there's not three guitars at the same time playing on a show. Usually, we're trying to get Parker to not play guitar and sing, and then same with
I like to
me.
run around.
Yeah, and then we even have Zach. We have a hardcore track. Zach just screams. So we have a hardcore track where Zach is just taking the mic and then Parker's playing lead on. So there's a lot of jumping around and changing.
I want
Our
to
drummer
back.
just plays drums.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's okay. I want to back up to when you were introducing yourself. Riley, you said vocals, but just on the other side of the stage. So do you guys fight over left and right side stage, or do you have it set?
We have it set, I think, for the most part. I mean, it's me and Parker in the center. Parker is like Parker's stage left, I'm stage right center. And then we have Leo on my side, Zach on Parker's side.
The
Yeah.
issue is the over under for 3.5 times I run into someone is pretty high.
Yeah, because whenever you're playing on small stages, which we do often across Florida, sometimes it's really difficult to have four people on the front.
I'll
And
find a
it,
way on a big stage. It does not matter.
yeah,
You're just that talented.
Well, or very, very blinders, horse blinders running around too.
yeah,
There's a video from the last show, I think, where I'm like singing and Riley's guitar almost impales my eye.
yeah, yeah. He goes wild for sure.
What have been some of your favorite rooms to play in Florida?
This one right here. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I think we'll start with Leo. Leo, your time to shine. I want to hear this one from you.
okay.
So, Riley, what's your favorite room to play in?
No, Leo, you go. You go. You're allowed to speak
No,
now.
I'm kind of curious on what Riley's gonna say now.
Okay, well, whatever. If you don't want to go, Leo, we tell Leo when he's allowed to speak. If you didn't notice, um, so we've kind of like become almost like we joke about we've become like the house band of the ranch in Fort Myers because they keep inviting us to open for bands at the ranch, and that's like a really, really big, lovely stage. We love playing there. And it's like we feel lucky to play there every time. We've opened for Buck Cherry, Sleep Theory, Norma Jean, Soulfly, tons of other bands
NP
on that state. Head PE,
Tool
yeah,
cover band.
a Tool cover band. But then I think what is it? The South Florida Fairgrounds with Brightside
Oh,
Fest
yeah, this
or
is my
Central
favorite
Florida
one.
Fairgrounds. Central
Yeah,
Florida Fairgrounds. That
you
was
got to
my
say yours.
favorite
My turn.
by far.
Yeah, Orlando Fairgrounds in Orlando, Florida. That was my favorite. But it's huge outdoor amphitheater. We played with Sublime, 311, Story of the Year, Goldfinger, Face to Face, all those bands there on Ren Law, and it's just large and outside. You can run around. I love outside venues. That's my favorite thing. Just it's just so freeing.
I have to agree with you there. That was probably one of the favorite places I've ever played. It was awesome. Just having that giant space in front of you where everyone can filter in, you can see everything. You don't have, all the lights just blinding you in such like a small enclosed space. It's really nice. And having all the room to run around in,
Huge.
it's yeah, it makes a huge difference.
Be free, Leo.
But
Dance around. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, but like you said, Ranch is probably it's definitely up there just because, like Riley said, we go there so often that we're all the people there kind of know us and it's just always a fun time.
It's
Yeah.
comfy.
I mean, it's
Comfy.
nice that you guys are considered somewhat a house band because then they keep contacting you to play shows and you just get more exposure
Yeah, what
that
are we
way
gonna
with
say
other
no?
bands. I mean, some people might.
There's one
Yeah.
we're playing at in Thursday called the Banyan Live, which hopefully when this comes out in the near future, that I look back and say, oh, it was worth me saying this right now. But normally we play these venues which have less production, but the stages and sound are fine. But the Banyan Live in West Palm, is it? Yeah, it's got
Yeah.
crazy production with screens and lights and everything to where we're very intrigued to see what a
It
like a
looks like it looks like you have a rave there almost. It looks really, really cool.
yes, that's the 3 a.m. show. We're playing with Filth and Broken Side and some other bands there. I think next week or 2 weeks
2 weeks, Thursday.
on
Nice.
Thursday. Yeah, there's no laws anymore with shows, I guess.
Yeah, and it seems like over the last couple of years since the band started, you guys have played with some pretty big acts. Do you have any that are the most memorable for you?
For
The block.
me, I sorry, Leo, you can go after me. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yeah.
For me, it was definitely the band called Sleep Theory. They're like a new metal band coming up right now. I didn't know who they were until, and I feel so stupid. I didn't know who they were until we opened for them, and they were so good. They blew me away. They were super nice. And then Keith Wallen of Breaking Benjamin was also on the bill, and we got to hang out with him, which was super cool. So that's that for me.
Solo stuff, he's really good at it.
So good.
Okay,
Leo.
my turn now.
Let Leo
Um,
speak.
my favorite one has to be Sublime because I grew up on Sublime. It's just I know all the lyrics to all their songs, everything. So getting to interact with them and just be backstage while they play, just that alone is mind blowing because they're such a huge band. They're just a staple of what music can really be. And getting to talk with them and all of that stuff. I mean, 311 and Goldfinger, I grew up on them too. I got to see all of them, save Ferris. I grew up with all of these bands, so getting to interact and talk with them all and seeing them play not only live but play on the same stage as them is just unreal to me.
Yeah.
But the Sleep Theory guys were they were really down to earth. They were really cool guys. I really enjoyed spending some time with them and playing with them. Man, there's so many. There's so many. But I think Sublime probably has it top for me.
Is it my turn? I
Yes, it
assume.
is.
Okay. I'm gonna agree with Leo, and then I'm gonna raise it one higher. Story time. Sublime for me because I'm from an island. And I lived my whole life there on a beach surfing and forced to listen under a pier all these same songs. And I love reggae. It's my favorite genre. And am I allowed to curse in this story? Is this like a
You can
moderated thing?
curse. We
Okay.
just say it's not good for children to listen to.
Okay. Well, I'll bleep it out with a word that rhymes with it. I love to be myself no matter who. And it's great to see these artists when they are accepting of everyone. 311 was great. We didn't really get to really talk to them because they're all business and they're amazing musicians. They've been doing it forever. I understand it. But like Sleep Theory was great because we got to hang out with them. I came up to them and said, oh, you guys think you're so good because you got off ship rocked or whatever and you headline a show right after. And they're like, oh, funny guys, let's go. But my favorite one was Sublime because we have this tent, which is amazing for us. We never get a tent, right? What? We get a little green room tent for this festival, and we're in there and chilling and everything. Sublime's next to us in this huge RV, like a portable house kind of deal. And I come back later to our tent. Singer for Sublime, Jacob Knowles, in there. First thing I say to him is, "What the F word are you doing in my tent, man?" And after that, we hung out. We took photos flexing with each other. We went out into the general admission to where I'm a teacher, and one of my co-teachers was there who grew up on Sublime. I'm like, hey, can you meet him, dude, and make his world? So we go out to the gate, and then we're peeking through like the thousands of people. I'm like, hey, coach, come over here. I got a surprise. And then his face lights up when he sees Jacob. And he's like, man, and we take photos. He's like, thanks for being a teacher, man. And, blah, blah. And then people start crowding, and then we start talking after about how the 2 shows before that he played with Coachella. And he's like, it's still new to me, and I want to meet everyone, and it's great. And it was good to see all the joy with him in music that a lot of these artists just don't have, because we play with a lot of bands, and a lot of bands that will remain unnamed kind of like just business in and out. And I feel like that's something I never want to be, no matter what. I'm always want to gonna see the joy in this, and Sublime and bands like Leo just said and Riley just said kind of encapsulated, right? Is that a word?
I,
Encapsulated?
what you're trying to say is it was like a shock to us that this band Sublime, the biggest band we've ever played with, was actually like the most, interested in us, I would say. And a lot of these bands that are nowhere on the level of Sublime that we've played with just turn a blind eye to us, don't even talk to us.
Like
Yeah.
Buck Cherry. I mean, unnamed band.
I mean, Buck Cherry, I saw them once, and they was
Yeah,
a
they're
basement show
a basement show. Wow, we
at the
don't even have
rave.
those here.
The
We have
basement in
one
the
because
rave is a
Leo in
lot
it.
bigger than a regular basement, though. So,
Oh, okay.
but I saw them once. You were talking about reggae rock, and I was like, didn't you guys just play recently with Aurora Wave?
No, actually, to
No.
correct you. Sorry, but I love talking to people and all that, and I saw them with Pepper. Aurora Wave I've been following for months. Love the work that's going on, and put Riley onto it, Leo onto it, and we're just like, oh, metal reggae, so good. Saw them in Cocoa Beach, talked to their guitars, hung out with them for a bit, and then they're doing a Florida run, and I'm like, within a day we're on that run with Cloud9, which is another band that we Cloud9 Vibes that we're friends with. So it's going to be a very fun time in March, and we have our own reggae metal track coming out, so we're working on that, and I think we're finishing the recording on Thursday, so
Yeah.
we're getting into that too. That, I don't know if you guys are familiar with that genre, podcast people or anyone here. It is a genre to be reckoned with.
Yeah, that's really cool.
I mean, a classic from the old days would be like Skin Dread or Matamba. Those are the first two that come to my mind when it comes to reggae metal.
Yeah.
Thank you, Leo.
So when we were researching, we read that your sound invokes nostalgic vibe of 2009. Who are some of your favorite bands from back then, and how have they influenced your sound?
Um,
Here's the thing with this band, though. No one's got the same taste in music, so you're gonna get a
yeah,
carousel here.
yeah.
That's a
What's
good thing.
is yeah, what's really cool is our drummer is a jazz funk drummer.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Zach, our lead guitar player, is I don't even know, like death metal.
He's like metalcore, and then like
Metalcore.
Polyphia, not Polyphia, but like
Yeah,
how would I say that? Very not proggy.
math
What
rock,
is? He's
math
like
rock.
new metalcore, I guess, but not new metal. I don't know.
Yeah, but I mean, whenever we say that, we're saying like we're bringing back that nostalgic Pierce the Veil, Sleeping with Sirens, that whole thing,
Like
and
102, Newfound Glory, all of that.
and putting a modern twist on it, obviously, but um, yeah, that prime era of emo, I would say.
Just everything. So like some bands, I guess, will swing from like a pop punk songs, because some of our influences like Newfound Glory, Blink 182, the whiny stuff, and then you can mix it into the more heavy, whinier singers like Alisana or Drop Dead Gorgeous or all those bands from those scene days, and then you add the metalcore elements into it, like we kind of like the stuff Motionless and White is doing, but we're not that theatric. So then we dial it down a bit, and we're like, okay, what can we do that's singy, screamo, and then it'll go song to song. So I mean, that's our thing, because like you can 2009, man, all that stuff's kind of brand new, and there's so many new genres coming out with it, and it's like each band was a master and craft of their genre. We want to kind of put our hand in that cookie jar. Whatever we come out with is what we come out with.
Yeah, for sure.
Metaphor.
I'm just kind of curious because we're talking about, blending all these genres. I just want to ask you your personal takes on like alt pop.
Oh, could you give me a few artists? Because there's so many.
We'll go with like Charlotte Sands, Churches.
Like Paris or PV.
Paris, yep,
Yeah,
Paris,
yeah,
that works
yeah,
too.
Paris. Yeah. Um, Here's my thing, because I'm so ruined with my metal taste. I love the writing. The writing is phenomenal. It's very catchy, very hooky, and it's great writing. but then I always think of it, oh, this would be a killer metal song, or this would be a killer hard rock song where you can add these other dynamics into it. And live, if you go see him, like I saw Paris live, incredible because you've got the live drums, you've got some guitar, all that. It's really good. But then on the track, it's not the same, energy. It's good, it's great songs, but for me, it's like I think I've ruined my music taste so much to where it's like, the songwriting's there, everything's perfectly produced and stuff. It's just not edgy enough for my needs, unfortunately.
Yeah. See,
I kind
Paris,
of have to agree with you there.
Thanks,
I've never
Liam.
heard of them, to be honest.
Yeah.
never heard of Paris?
I've heard of them because I know Parker's seen them,
I
and
saw
that's
her
it.
for $3 on a Tuesday night in House of Blues Orlando.
Yeah.
How
It's
long
worth
ago was
every
that?
dollar. What up?
How long ago was that?
About a month and a half.
Oh,
That's why
I
we don't
wonder
tour on a
I
Tuesday.
wonder if Nick was the sound guy.
I could have screamed it, and probably he would have heard me. This is
Well, we interviewed recently, well, more recently, a sound front of house engineer that has been with a lot of bands and everything, and he was on the Paris tour, so he might have
oh,
been doing the
it
sound then.
sounded good. So kudos to Chris, man. Yeah, snare was a little shitty. I'm just kidding.
He actually does mostly the stage vocals and stuff.
Yeah, it was mixed phenomenal. So Chris, good job. Thank you for me not losing money on a $3 concert.
So speaking of your sound, you guys released your debut album, Sleep on It, in 2023. What are your personal favorite songs from that record? I mean, it's very mixed, actually. I feel like
I
I feel
hate
like
that.
I heard a lot of different genres in that
Yeah.
Okay.
record.
I'll say that album, I wouldn't really consider that our debut album. That
Demo album.
our album that we're releasing coming up here is going to be our debut album. Um,
Half that
that
stuff's from Parker Shogun music days, where it's actually just all Parker playing all the
yeah,
instruments,
a lot
saying,
of it
"Let's just
is
throw it on,
solo
man, and if
stuff.
it catches, yeah."
But then you have Blood for Blood on there. You have You're Welcome, Signal Fire, and a lot of
I think
them.
what we wanted to do is just have an out. We didn't expect to keep like doing this and play with all these big bands. We wanted just to have some out there that said, "Hey, we
Yeah,
made an album," and that's kind of what we just compiled it all together and said, "Let's do it." And then the songs that perform well are probably the ones we like because they're legitimately good songs, and the ones that people listen to, the ones we still play to this day and whatnot. And I think that's what you're gonna say, Riley. Not to
yeah, like Jenny, Signal Fire, Death Sentence, You're Welcome,
I
Blood
like
for Blood.
some of the acoustic stuff, but my issue is it's recorded horribly and very quickly. And when
They're
we did what
demos.
you're doing, yeah, they're like demos, and it's something we can maybe revisit when back in the day out of boredom. But I mean, I like how it's if everything were to get the touch that we have now with the skill we had, because some of those were recorded in like 2021. So I wasn't even a singer really back then. I was just doing around, right? But I feel like if we, retouched it now, it'd really get the love we feel much happier with it. So right now we kind of just hate hearing it half the time, 90% of the time. And we're just like, okay, Ford's, move on past. So when people hear it, we're like, yeah, listen to this and skip these
Yeah,
songs.
yeah, we literally do that. But I think in short, you could say that our singles are like the stuff that we play live at
Yes.
every show. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, would you say your latest single, Slam, is kind of what your new album is going to be going
Nope.
towards?
What?
So Slam was a funny story about that song. We were recording another song, Severed, and we had extra time. And then Zach was like, "Yo, I got this idea. Let's do this." And they were like, "Holy shit, that's dope. Let's do it." And then we recorded Slam. It was like one of those moments where we were just in a flow state and we just
Yeah.
cooked
He
on
gave
it
me
for like
lyrics and I
just
had a
a couple
little
hours.
riff on drop B or drop A flat in like 10 seconds. I'm like, oh, wait, what about this little dissonant thing? And then we did it and
Yeah.
then it
It
was
just
rough.
worked out really, really quick. But we call that our hardcore song. So everything else, like Severed is the song before that. I would say that's our defining sound moving
Yeah,
forward. Yeah.
We'll add a little more screamies. We kind of forgot to do it there. Oopsie daisy. But
you're just trying to make people think.
Yeah, like that one's more emo. Like the one before that, the Frozen one, we have a collab with a rapper, and that's a pop rock song with pop
Mhm.
punk elements, and that's that, and then it's emo, then it's the hardcore, and then we can, the next track we're doing the Kellin Quinn one. That one's more, I think, everything. It's got a killer breakdown. I will save that if you want to just make that its own topic later. And then the reggae, it's all metal with influences of
It's
different genres
yeah,
now. Let's
it's
say that.
experimenting. It's experimenting with our musicianship under the metal umbrella.
Yeah,
You
we
agree,
got.
Leo?
Yeah, we got to keep the fans guessing.
That's
What do
what
you
I'm
mean?
saying. You're just keeping people guessing.
Your computer, Leo.
That's a joke, obviously.
It's you ever heard like computer bass players? Like in like the okay, I'll just never mind. We're
We
gonna
we have a joke that Leo's really just on stage, but we turn him all the way down, and it's all just recorded, but it's
Poor
not.
Leo.
the tracks
That's what
debate.
that's been.
What did you say?
So that's what that's been.
Yeah, we've got you on for looks, buddy.
He
I
doesn't
mean,
know
yeah,
about
you
the
need the
joke.
sex appeal, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they talked your dad into to getting you to join the band just because of your looks. They didn't want you
We're
really as a bass player.
like we need a
Yeah,
Hollister
my
model
only
on this thing.
merit.
Yeah.
So talking more about that single you have coming out with Kellin Quinn, how did that
Just like
collaboration come
this, sorry,
about?
the sudden change. Yeah. Okay, restart.
So back to the sex appeal.
That's where Kellin Quinn comes in. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, how did that collaboration come about and how was it working with him?
All right. We had a song Paradigm done, right? And we liked it. It's pretty good. I sang a verse on it, and then I did the scream parts, and I was like, okay, it's a song. It's pretty good. And I've always wanted a good feature on something to really work with someone, and someone as Riley. And I was up late one night, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get this guy to sing a song. So I went through a ton of email chains, a ton of emails in the span of a night. And by 1 o'clock in the morning, I'm texting him, sending him or emailing him the song. And I'm like, hey, man, do you like it? Can we work on it? Blah, blah. He's like, yeah, man, I'll do it. By the next day at noon, he's recorded the voice, the verses, send it in. End of the week, we've got it mixed and done. And we're like, did that just kind of happen? And it did. And then, nicest guy in the world, I'm like, hey, man, thanks for everything. You're a killer, dude. And he's I like still in the email days, and I know he's going to Orlando for his tour and everything. We're like, oh man, we really wanted to go, but sold out. He's like, yeah, dude, I'll just give you tickets and we can shoot promos there and stuff. And I'm like, I literally was driving and I was like, yes, 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 and called Riley because I was like, so excited. He got just as excited because it's we grew up listening, and that's one of the big things is we play all these shows and it's really cool. But for like to work with and meet and this, and it's this sold out show, and we're like, oh, sick. So we go there, and he's got tickets for the band and our videographer even, and she gets a photo pass. Like he gets her a photo pass to shoot for Sleeping with Sirens and other bands before other bands. It was who was the first one, Riley?
Holding absence.
Nope, before yes, Holding Absence, and the one before it was
They're just like
The
a
Australian girls.
yeah,
yeah.
okay. Anyway, shoots for 3 bands. Anyways, we go there. We get to meet Kellin. He's like saying, "Yeah, I'll carve out some time." Blah blah blah. And at first, he's busy because he's a busy guy. I'm like, "Oh crap, we're not gonna get to meet him." And then he's like, "Yeah, man, we can do it now." And then he arrives with the sounds of angels flowing his nice long black hair. Meet him. He's like, "Hey, Parker. Hey, everybody. Nice to meet you." Really nice guy. Really genuine, nice guy. Throughout every conversation I've had with him, we took time to shoot videos with us, talk with us for a bit. People start gathering, crying. I don't get why. I mean, I get why. The amount of scene teen girls just, oh my god, we got on so many different. We even made a TikTok about like, oh, influencers in the wild because we're shooting these promos and we're doing it fast because people are starting to gather. And
Yeah. The funny part of that is whenever, sorry to cut you off, but you kind of glazed over this part that makes it funny is he texted Parker and he was like, "Hey, come over to this gate over here." And we're like, "Okay, are you sure? Like there's people over there." And so we walk over, he just comes out, he's like, "Hey guys," shaking his hands, and then slowly just like a massive crowd of teenage girls start forming around us. And then there's like girls like huffing and puffing, crying. And then one of the coolest things ever that I think has ever happened to us
we got it
was
on video too. It's so funny.
one girl said, you just hear, "Is that done for?" And I'm like, we're like, "Oh wait, but that's Kellin Quinn." Like, what, you know? But we're like, we swear we did not plan this. Like, whatever. We don't get recognized
I'll
that much.
find the video. It's the funniest thing because it's like when we're shooting the promo, because I'm like going manager mode. I'm making sure to do this quick and get all the angles and everything. And I hear they're like, "Wait, are you guys done for?" I'm like, yeah, that's Kellin. Okay. Anyway, she's like, "Yeah, we played a show with you guys. If you don't remember," I'm like, "That's sick. Let me shoot this." And then we shoot the promo,
It's
and
so cool.
it was just like I was like, "Yeah." I even was like, "Yeah, Kellin, we're a real band."
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really cool. And then even to this day, still talk sometimes. He wishes us luck in shows. He's just a genuine, gnarly, great dude.
Yeah, I saw them in Milwaukee. They played
You've seen
Summerfest.
everyone, haven't you? Now, you lucky goose.
Not everyone. I don't get that lucky to see a billion shows anymore. Back in the day, I used to go to way more shows, but I'm older now. Can't do it as much anymore. I got to adult
Is that a
more.
set it off poster?
It is.
You
I
like the
just
new?
went to that show too.
Oh, okay. They are killer.
This is
I
old though. That poster back there is old. That's from Warped Tour.
Yeah, that looks like the original like first album they had. Not to be a nerd. I
And that's a
left
story of
Blink.
the year poster back here.
He was cool. Dan was very nice. We left when we were young, front row for Blink 182 to go see Less Than Jake. Crazy. And then see Set It Off. And then Set It Off was killer, but they put him at the same time as Blink, so it's kind of rude. But they're killer. They're good. Sorry.
They are. They're very good. They're
Mm.
they're reborn. It's a
That's what I was gonna get
reborn
to. I need to
wolf in
listen to
sheep's
it.
clothing.
I gotta. So tell me why. Yeah, good band. Listen to them, Riley. They're cool.
I never set it off.
Oh, never mind then.
It's
Duh.
like I know who they are. Does
Yeah.
Leo?
No,
Leo's
no,
left the
no,
building.
no. You're the only one.
I like Ancient History.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's
Deep
like their
cut.
pop punk anthem for me.
Well, the Set It Off tour was awesome because in Milwaukee, uh, they had the duet on stage with New Year's Day. So
Oh
Mhm.
yeah, I saw them too.
with
Look at us seeing everything. I guess.
Look at that.
Look at us
we could just talk about shows we went
being
to.
poor because we spend too much on shows.
Yep.
Why I
You
started
were
band.
talking about when we were young. Well, you guys have to be poor now.
Well, I mean, I went a year and a half, yeah, and then we missed our flight there, and that's a whole different story. So that trip was cheap at first, and then ended up being a Vegas trip and a half that we'll save for another day, because
So your latest collaboration coming out is a very big one. Is there any other artist or band you would love to collaborate with in the future? Like a dream collaboration?
you know what, Riley, I undermined you here a little bit. I was talking to Emery, if you know who they are. You know Emery, like you, Chris, do you know? Anyone
Yeah.
know? Oh, yes.
I know
Okay,
who
no.
Emery is, yes.
Oh, you guys just kind of just looked at me like I'm the
Well,
only
you were
one.
asking Riley, and I was
Well,
like
Riley
waiting for
doesn't know who
Riley to
Emery
answer.
is, I think.
I
He's
saw
not.
that you reached out to them, but yeah, I
Oh,
don't
wow.
really.
Okay, well, I have an email that you're not part of. But anyways, that's my own personal little, old Christian post-hardcore band vibes. Um, collab wise though, let's think realistically.
Not realistically, she said dream
I said
collab.
dream because I
Always
mean,
likes. Always
realistically, did you
likes.
think you were going to get Kellin Quinn?
Anything I realistically did I think I'd be doing half the things, I'm living the dream. How can I
You're
think,
living the dream.
anything higher, right? I want to hear
Yeah.
Leo first, Riley. Let's get Leo to do this one. What's a dream collab? This determines if you stay in the band or not.
Oh God.
God, it's a pretty good one.
Yeah.
Featuring.
Fuck, man, I don't know. There's a lot of solid choices, and I can't decide between them. I mean, the Sleeping with Sirens one was gonna be it, but obviously we're doing a thing with him now, so that's still crazy to think about. Um, I mean, Escape the Fate, like some old school stuff like that would be kind of cool.
Do you know you could have actually gotten Craig Mabbitt for a feature on like a website back then? It was like 1,500. No, it was like 15K. My bad. Yeah, but like you mean like Ronnie Escape the Fate?
Yeah.
No.
For
He's
me,
not excited about that.
for me,
It is.
yeah, it would be my all-time favorite band.
You'd be
Bring the
like, yeah, I
Horizon.
own the band now. Sorry, guys.
What?
Ronnie would be like, "Oh, you're doing a feature? I own the band. Plus, you owe me 100K."
Okay. Anyways, I was gonna say mine would be Ollie Sykes.
That would be sweet.
Oh yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't know. I just go about it, man. It's if a song calls for it, I guess feature. It's more of like to me, I want to like play with bands, right? I don't really want to like rely on others for features because there's a lot of artists I see coming out and there's some crazy features. I know a lot of our friend bands are doing stuff with We the Kings. They have a lot of features with We the Kings. I saw a song where it was Craig Owens from Chiodos, um, Kellin Quinn, and the Almost all on a song with a random no name band. And I'm like, how do you do that, buddy? But
Money.
shh. But yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's hard because it's like the song has to fit it. But whenever you ask that question, I'm thinking, okay, this would be really cool for the
It's
band to
it's gotta
collaborate
help.
with this
It's gotta
artist.
help elevate the song too.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of on this in the same park as Parker, where I'd rather play with them than have them featured. I mean, obviously, there's like special cases. Like there's some insane vocalists. What? There's insane vocalists out there that honestly I think would really sound good on some of our stuff, especially if, with our creative ability with writing songs and like different genres or incorporating different effects and styles from other genres, gives us a lot of wiggle room with who we can have on. But I would much rather like play with them and get to have experience all of that. Like playing with Ginger would be awesome, or like Avatar, or something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah,
Okay.
Ginger's pretty awesome.
Was everybody's first introduction to Ginger that music video, or is that just me?
Yes,
I feel like
probably.
that's everybody. Oh, what a pretty little intro. She starts
Yeah.
screaming. It's the Pisces or whatever.
Pisces.
Yeah.
Now, you guys say that you have a dynamic energy on stage. That being said, what have been some of your influences, let's say, for your stage presence?
A lot of coke. I'm just kidding. Yeah, I'm just kidding. It's more. I don't think we, and it's something to work on because some of the members are more standing that are not in this chat, and like Christian can move around a lot more if he really tries. Um,
I think what we
he's the
do,
drummer. That's the joke. But I
we'll
think,
like
yeah,
we'll go to shows together, right? And then we'll be like, look at like we kind of just like whenever we go to shows and see bands, we kind of study and just learn from the masters. So it's a lot
like
of just
holding absence. Guy's really good at leg kicks. I started incorporating that a little bit more into it and jumping around a little bit more. I've always been active, but like holding the mic even, and I do a little bit now, like taking back Sunday where I'm working with the chord while moving, not to the point where I'm like, but yeah, but and Leo's just kind of a maniac. He just kind of just slaps things and just
yeah, Leo,
Yeah, I
who's
gotta say I take a lot of inspiration from Flea because I've watched
oh, that would make
so
sense.
many like shows that they've done, like old VHS records of their shows in like 1997 or something, and he's just running and jumping all over the place. I'm not quite there yet, but I will eventually get there.
you definitely get comments about how people comment about how crazy Leo is on stage, which
That's
is
why I
great.
have very little photos, is because I'm never in one place long enough for them
Yeah.
to get a good
Yeah,
shot.
that's the reason. Yeah.
That's what I want to go with. It makes me
I
feel better
mean, if
inside.
he's the sex appeal of the band, they're going to try and get the picture, so he's got to be moving a lot.
Yeah, I got to
Yeah.
do a challenge. Make them work for their money.
Oh God.
Just kidding. We don't pay them.
Yeah. The number one life hack, I guess. Don't pay people
How is practice going for your stage moves?
for which person.
All of you.
I only
I think
have
the one that
one.
we're all good. We're all good at it. We
I saw you
music.
practicing in a reel.
Oh yeah.
How's
That's
that
the first
practicing going?
Yeah, it's going well. That's the first
See,
time
the
we've
problem is
ever
we need to
like
get Zach on board. Zach doesn't do anything. He'll literally there's a part in a signal fire for us where we go like and he literally will hold the mic down here and go and I'm like dude just hold that mother up here all right and just he just stands and goes
Yeah, he's we're working on him.
I've got
But
to get him on some like illicit drugs
yeah,
or something.
for the most part it's me, Parker, and Leo. We're just running around, and then you got Zach over there just going like this.
He's
Shit
grooving.
doesn't help at all. He's
Just grooving,
horrible.
yeah.
Well, that's why he's not a lead singer.
We have him as a lead singer for a song, and he's gotten better the last two times. But yeah, he's kind of rough when it comes to sometimes we'll just let him wild, let him off the guitar. But he'll have a 4 feet radius of where he goes.
Yeah.
He'll come into his own eventually.
Yeah, he's on a date tonight, so everyone wish him luck.
Good luck.
Yeah,
Good luck, Zach.
he probably won't even watch this. I just mentioned we said something about him. It's just us talking shit for 20 minutes. Just fix it with that. So it's Christian. So look at us, all losers. Yeah.
So now for the last and most very important question. What is your favorite dinosaur?
Okay, where
Hmm.
is it? Oh, gosh. I have one.
Carnotaurus.
Brontosaurus.
First fucks.
I
And
said
I think
carn
Spinosaurus is very cool.
what, a Carnotaurus?
Spinosaurus. They got
Oh,
spines in the back.
yeah, those are cool. Yeah.
I had one. I like the Supersaurus because it's huge.
But I mean,
There,
there's a lot of aquatic ones that are really cool too.
what is your
Everyone else
favorite?
pays
What is
attention to
yours,
like,
Chris? What is your favorite dinosaur?
Ankylosaurus.
Oh, dude, you were waiting for someone to ask you that one. What is that?
yeah,
So
he had
that's
that one ready to fire.
that's the one with it's got the
It's got the bulbous part.
armor on the back and it's got the big ass club on its tail.
Oh,
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I would like to change my answer to O'Reilly's mother. Just kidding, Carrie. Love you. But what about you, Miss Jessica?
I'm a Brachiosaurus kind of girl.
So that's
It's kind of like a
it feels like a
Brontosaurus.
catchphrase. I'm not
It's
like most girls. I like the Brachiosaurus.
It's like
A
personal,
homie
but for the
girl, but it's a
Brachiosaurus.
Brachiosaurus girl.
it's
Yeah.
like a Brontosaurus, but it's the one in Jurassic Park that they're sitting in the trees. That's a
They're in the trees.
Brachiosaurus.
Yeah,
It's got the hump on the head.
yeah. What's the? I used to love them. I feel like every kid went through a dinosaur phase.
I mean, if I had to choose another one, probably a Velociraptor, but maybe a feathered
Amazing.
Velociraptor.
Yeah, no, I'm just gonna. I feel like I have to go with the stupid ones. I don't even know. I wish I had this prepared because I would have really wowed y'all with that.
You know, this is how we do it though. We have to ask the question and you don't get any prepping for it because it's got to just come off the top of your head.
Yeah,
We got the hard questions here.
Yeah, like who's your favorite dinosaur? And it's been a hard question for some people.
yeah. Like a dinosaur. What? Yeah, T-Rex is probably the most basic answer.
T-Rex or Velociraptor.
Yeah, that's yeah.
I feel like
What's
we've gotten a
that's what
lot
the
of
media is trying to
pterodactyls.
push onto you. Yeah,
Right,
Who's
big
Chris?
the
dinosaur wants
yeah,
you to know these ones.
there was one person we asked and they were really excited. I don't remember who that was.
I'll have him quit music and start being a paleontologist or something.
Was it Dylan or Tyson?
I think so.
Those sound like people who avidly know
I
about
think
their
it was
dinosaurs.
was it Dylan from Opal in Sky?
I think so.
I've heard of
Yeah.
that band. I've heard of that band.
Well, they're all over social media, so you've probably seen
Yeah.
them on there
So do
too.
I. Yeah, I'm on social media a lot. That's how I randomly DM podcasts and people.
I'm on it a lot too, so
Yeah, our
I'm
life
the one
sucks.
that usually deals with all the social posts on the
It's, re-
podcast.
yeah, it's
So
really fun, isn't it? It's just.
it's a lot of work. It's a
I
lot of
try.
work.
Trust me, I know. Yeah, it's
If
not fun.
only all platforms let you schedule posts,
Yeah, Instagram's good with that. Um,
but everyone else needs to get on top of that on that bandwagon, man.
yeah, or hear me out. We get rid of everything and go back to kicking MySpace.
You know, we've been talking a lot about MySpace lately. I feel like everyone's been very
There's like a
MySpace
fake MySpace popping
nostalgic.
back up.
Making a
Yeah.
comeback, baby.
Leo, you weren't even alive. You're like what, 22?
Close enough.
Jeez, you're so lucky. You're so handsome.
I was
Mm.
definitely alive during the MySpace days, so was Chris. That's where we met.
Oh, top 8 or whatever it is.
I don't
Is,
know. I don't think either of us
I
had
don't think
each
no.
other in a top eight.
I don't think that ever happened.
Oh, that's rough. I think it's better not to be in one than get taken off of it.
I
So
just remember Chris sending me some video of him like cleaning out his
Cleaning my
car.
car. Yeah.
in like 60 frames per second or something like that, I'm sure, just like pixels. It's like, uh,
It was
good.
probably on like a 2 megapixel Kodak digital camera.
Probably.
I was thinking of minutes the other day. Like phones used to have minutes.
Yeah, I used to have a Nokia with the faceplates, man. That's how old I
Riley
am.
always had an iPhone. That's what he told me the other day. He was a very prissy
No,
little boy. That's what he
I
told
did
me.
not. I did not. I was the last person to have an iPhone. Actually, I didn't get an iPhone until my sophomore year, and I had a flip phone all throughout middle school and half of high school. So watch what.
I got an iPhone in junior year, loser. So how was I
Okay.
supposed to get girls? I don't know, man.
I was a kid. I was using my iPod because I wanted to be like on the iPhone train like everybody else. So I was using my iPod Touch with Wi-Fi so I could iMessage people. So
Dude,
I would,
people were bullies back then. All right.
yeah.
I'm a middle school teacher. Bullying now is nothing along the lines of when we were in back then when it was iPhone, Nike Elite socks, and I think even like what backpack you had. That was like a rough, you get
Mhm.
you remember the Nike Elite socks? You guys know what I'm talking about?
Mhm.
Those
Oh yeah.
things charging $15 a sock in 2012. Who did that? Who thought of that?
Yeah. You guys are definitely younger than me and Chris.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Riley's 16. Leo's 22 and I'm 36.
The first iPhone came out 3 years after I graduated.
Oh, you probably felt so angry.
Oh
Um,
yeah, so angry.
Yeah, you got to live in the moment, man. What the fuck is that?
Yeah, but sidekicks were all the rage.
Is it like an energy drink? I'm just kidding. Like Razer or something like that.
It was a phone.
Yeah, no, yeah. My dad still uses a flip phone and everything. They don't break, the battery doesn't die, and
Yeah.
they're pretty solid.
I mean, if he's not doing social media, he probably doesn't need a smartphone.
Yeah, my dad's social media is going home and going to the keg. All right. In a fun way, not like an abusive way.
yeah, you made you made it sound a lot different than it is.
Fun for everybody.
Just to clear it up, there's no abuse happening.
There's no abuse
You're okay.
happening. Watchers and listeners, there's no abuse
Yes.
happening.
We're avid reporters here, guys. We're here to whatever positive thing I was gonna
Bringing the facts straight out.
Well, is there anything else you guys would like to mention or add before we leave?
Yeah, on the merch store, support bands through merch. That usually really helps them the most because streaming actually doesn't pay anything down with Spotify and all those big streaming brands. We just released a limited edition of pre-workout and whey protein powder today on the Done For merch website. Not even joking. So,
Wait, it's this thing now?
no, I'm not even joking. It's a real FDA approved thing. So if you want
Oh
to get
God.
swole, dude, order some Done For pre-workout.
Are we pulling a KSI?
Yes.
You would watch that, Leo. All right.
Also, plug our YouTube. Check out our vlogs. We do a lot of really sick vlogs before like big shows. We did one at Brightside Fest, opening for Sublime. We opened for a big band. So it's always really cool to
See how much we bully Leo behind the scenes. Yeah.
yeah, just get a
Yeah,
deeper
it's
dive
pretty
into
bad.
our personality.
I feel like everyone likes to bully the bassist.
They're not real people.
I don't
Aw.
know what it is, if Instagram is just calling me out or what, but recently I'll just be doom scrolling through Instagram and almost every single fucking reel will be, oh, we made our bases showing our
Maybe
bases
if you could say a sentence right, you'd be able to stand up for
their
yourself.
snacks. We need bassist rights.
On that note,
Yeah.
thanks so much for coming on and reaching out. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, it's
Yes,
been
of
great.
course.
We've had a
I
lot of
appreciate
laughs
it.
and had fun.
Yes.
But
All
I
right.
look forward to hearing the new single with Kellin Quinn when it comes
Yep.
out.
15th drops lyric video on YouTube, everything else on all streaming services except Boom Play.
I don't even know what that is.
Either.
Well, you
Thanks
guys
for
have a
having me.
great night.
Yeah, you too.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good night. Bye. How do I? Okay. Yeah.